All right, look live, Jarvis. It's playtime.
Hey, I'm upside down. Why am I upside down?
What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling! And here!
Wrestling?
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling! Why? Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake.
Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hell, what the Sam heck is going on here? I'm upside down. Yes, folks, I am standing on my head. How do you folks dig that? I am standing on my head. But there I'm not. I'm standing on my head right here. Let me adjust this. Always something. There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Take two. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's Spot Show live stream. Let's see. I'm out of whack here. And of course, always got to have some kind of snafu going on my end, but I am live in a living color right now. So if you want, hit me up in the chats. Give me your opinion. Say hello. That's always cool. Or just chime in and with a conversation we might be having this evening. Got some stuff to get to. Got the NXT results, AEW Dynamite results. Some Ronda Rousey news. News about Ted DiBiase Jr. Let's see and a few other little tidbits here and there. But let's go ahead and get things going. I think with my technical difficulties, I think I think we should be good to go. I think it's stalled a little bit of time. I have no clue. Anyway, let me throw the phone behind me so it won't be echoing that bad. I'll still hear it, but it won't be the old, vibrating on the table or anything. Just doing it on the bed. But yes, in case you couldn't realize, I'm here in Bainbridge, Georgia. Last night here, going to tie all the loose ends up and kind of what's the word? Put it into it. I don't want to say the thing because I've been saying the thing too many times. Using somebody else's basic finishing up. Yes, there we go. Finish up down here in the South Georgia territory. They winding me down. I think I did my job good. Being an old veteran I am, I came down. Did a couple of angles. Kind of taught the taught the young guys what to do a little bit. Gave them some pointers. Wrestle as a heel here. Had to be heel for a little bit, but they switched me to a babyface. Tagged up with another young buck up here, and we did pretty good. Won the tag straps here. But now it's time for me to head off to a new territory. Last I heard I was going to be heading to the South Carolina territory, but in between there, I might hang out in the Metro Atlanta territory for a little bit. Yes, I'm being full of shite right now. Just having a little fun. Just having a little fun. That's all. All right, let's go ahead and get some results here. Let me scroll through my notes, which is always out of place because as I'm setting this stuff up, I have my little notes here, and when I'm scrolling down my notes and putting what pictures I can find uh, on my little scene list here, and if anybody's done this and did use it with OBS, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, setting it up, then I forget to scroll the whole thing back up, and of course I never do anything in order either, so that's a plus. But let's get to it. NXT was this past Tuesday. That was a decent little show. A lot of focus on the ladies this week. The first match was Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair taking on Fatal Influence. Decent little match here. Now I'm not really watching, even though WWE has pretty much said, hey, it's not really a developmental league now. We kind of just look at it as a number 3 program. I read that somewhere, but it is what it is. I kind of look at, hey, kids learn. It's kind of the AAA in baseball. You got kids learning, getting ready for the majors. Then you got some veterans down there to kind of lead them the way to the majors. So that's how I kind of look at it. But anyway, so when I look at this, I'm pretty much looking at prospects, not that next, possibly the next big time superstar that comes up when I watch NXT. So I not too much harsh criticism on that. So if you're looking for a harsh criticism, probably ain't gonna be for me. As far as NXT is concerned, some people should know better, but these people that I look at kind of like I know I'm kind of babbling here. Kind of the reason I really don't. I like going by local indies, but I don't really do any shows. I thought about doing a show for them, but if you listen to this, ask me about it later, and I'll tell you why. I have an idea for one, but excuse me, but I don't have one. I'll explain why I don't have one, and if I tell you what I was thinking about doing an online show for or YouTube show for the local indies, I'll explain why. I'll explain what I was going to do. Then you might understand why I don't do it. Okay, there we go. Uh, so I kind of kept looking at my beam there. So wait a minute, I have earphones on, or I have uh, earphones, so I can hear to make sure the mic's still on. So anyway, like I said, it was Kennel Gray and Ren Sinclair against the Fatal Influence, and all 4 of these girls did pretty good, I thought. Um, I did get to see Ren Sinclair last week in a singles match. Very good match there. Uh, and this one was no different. In the end, it was Gray and Laney Ray had a great Great sequence, very crisp. Hit their spots. A little stumble, a little bit of a stumble, but not much. And it led to Kendall locking the cross armbar. Uh, Phelan Hanley tried to break it up, but Sinclair grabbed her, slapped the wrench on her. Reed tapped out. Um, After the match, Kendall Gray was like, "Hey, excuse me, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you, JC Jane, for that NXT Women's Championship." Lola Vice came in, or not Lola Vice, yeah, Lola Vice. I had it right first time. Lola Vice came in, said, "No, since I'm this champion, I need to get the shot." So next week on NXT will be Lola Vice against Canel Gray to see who goes up against JC Jane and at Stand and Deliver, their next uh, premium live event. Next up, we have a segment featuring Sol Ruka and Zaria. Uh, Decent story I can kind of see here. Just pick up on her promo. Ruka feels very comfortable on the mic. Zaria, no slouch herself. She felt very comfortable. Kind of tell the story of, Ruka stated that she thought of Zaria more than just a tag team partner, more like a best friend. Zaria felt like she was just in Ruka's shadow. Very good story here. It's very relatable. If you're a girl and you have a older sister or something like that, and you always feel like you're overshadowed, it's almost that kind of storyline. But they'll face each other at Stand and Deliver. Next up, we had Kalina Joyner against Thea Hall. Joyner got the win. Then she attacked Thea until Miss Parker came out to Jada Parker. Kind of a fan of hers. I think it's well, I've seen a couple matches of her. She's decent. I don't know. Kind of dig her. But anyway, she came in to help Thea out and took out Kalina Jordan. So I guess they're going to have their match probably at Stand and Deliver as well. Next up, we had a gauntlet match. Not a great picture here. Shallow Hill, Jackson Drake started it off. Next person was Dion Lennox. After that, Charlie Dempsey. And finally, the surprise entrant was Johnny Gargano uh, doing his latest gimmick or latest storyline. Guess he's not finding himself. He's down on himself. Um, but he was the last entrant. Hill eliminates Lennox after OTM put a whooping on him uh, with the Whisper of the Beast. He also eliminated Drake and Charlie Dempsey using that same move. After he eliminated Charlie Dempsey, he gets a whooping from the other Birthright members. Of course, they threw him back in the ring. After that, Gargano was just kind of standing there, like, didn't know what to do. Candice LeRae just pushed him over, covered him, and got the 3 count. So it'll be Johnny Gargano going against the North American champion, getting a shot at that championship. We have a tournament going on to figure out who's going to be the next to challenge the NXT Tag Team Champions. It was supposed to be the calling against somebody else, but their opponents got attacked. Um, Los Americanos answered the call. They entered the match. Sean Spears rolls up Bravo in a Connor roll. Actually rolls it up successfully. Don't see that too many times lately. In the last few years, I don't think. It seems to be one of those moves. If you're not bendable enough or whatever, or don't get that right momentum, it's some reason a hard move to pull off. But anyway, Spears was able to successfully roll up Bravo and the O'Connor roll, but Bravo kicks out. Uh, and Spears runs right into the loaded mask of Reyes. Bravo hit the loaded flying headbutt for the win, so they're going on to the tournament, face the Birthright. And the main event of the night was Ricky Saints versus Tony Angelo, or D'Angelo, excuse me. Um, This, of course, to see who faces the NXT champion, Joe Hendry, at Stand and Deliver. Uh, Tony was going for a choke slam when Ethan Page clipped his knees. Red calls for the DQ. Saints and uh, Page puts a whooping on D'Angelo until Joe Hendry comes in, takes out both of them. Then hits Tony D'Angelo with the standing ovation. Uh, Tony thinks it's kind of funny, and Hendry's wondering why, but hey, he did help the guy out, and that's how the show ends. Like I said, it was pretty decent little show. Can't complain it too much. I would say Hendry's probably one of those another veterans trying to help out the younger talent. Saints, of course, uh, former or AEW talent, NWA talent. Now he's there trying to get, I guess, some little bit of bugs out of the system. Then he's part of a future call up soon. So Ruka again, another. I think she's going to be a soon to be call up soon to the main roster. I'm pretty sure sometime after WrestleMania. Um, can't really think of anybody else right now who might be coming up soon. I'm pretty sure eventually Joe Hendry will be called up, but they try to introduce him to the WWE crowd. A lot of he probably got over on YouTube and TikTok with a video say his. I'm not gonna say it because that'll be creepy if he did appear here. I might pew just because hey, I got a strange man in my freaking hotel room. But that does it for NXT this week. Like I said, pretty pretty good. I feel comfortable that at least future WWE talent will be able to perform at least in the ring, and be comfortable with promos and all that good stuff. Yeah, I got to press record. I'm supposed to record that. I guess I could do it again, but no, no, not today. Let's see, y'all. As you did see on the program, and we talked about I've talked about it a couple times. We did lose Dennis Condrey this past weekend. He was the original Midnight Express. Him and two other guys formed a team called the Midnight Express for Jim Cornette and Bobby Eaton. Um, pretty talented guy. Except for the one thing, like I said, we'll probably talk more about Dennis Condrey come tomorrow night's Spot Show live stream. So check it out. But he had a pretty good career. Probably would say he was a more of a tag team wrestler than singles. Even though he did hold singles championships and have singles runs, he was probably more famous in tag teams. One, of course, being the Midnight Express, the original, the Bicentennial Kings with Bill Hickerson. He actually had a tag team with, or former tag team with Dr. D. David Schultz. But like I said, tomorrow night we'll focus a little more about Dennis Condrey's career. But for now, oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Oh, where'd it go? Ah, here we go. I couldn't see it on my little sheet here on the scene sheet. So using my laptop, so everything's kind of smaller, and I've already talked about how bad my eyes are getting. So it is that time. this week's AEW Dynamite recap. This week's Dynamite takes place at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul, Minnesota. A 5,000 seater. That on October 1st of year 2000. They hosted ECW's Anarchy Rules. I'm not sure if I got that live. I think I might have seen it on tape. But that's the one where Jerry Lynn won the ECW World Title from Just Incredible. And I think it's one. I think it's one of the. If it's not the last ECW pay per view, I think it's the one of the last ECW pay per views they had. Was Anarchy Rules. But anyway, so kicking off Dynamite this week, big important match, big bunny match, high stakes. Somebody's EVP status versus someone's number one contendership for the AEW World Championship. It was Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland. And of course, they kicked this thing off. I'm not sure why it wasn't the main event. Maybe, Kenny's like, okay, I got too much other stuff to do. Let me do my match first so I can do my EVP stuff. Or Swerve was like, you know what? I want to do my match first so I can get the hell home. But anyway, yes. On top of that is just a match that's on the Wednesday night show, Dynamite. But anyway, pretty good match here. Fans were didn't seem to wake up until uh later on in the match or later on in the show. You had a few spatterings of let's go Kenny and stuff like that. A few boos from Swerve Strickland. Omega countered a big pressure with a victory roll for a 2 count. Swerve came back with a house call. And with the house call, Omega was draped over the middle rope. Swerve went to the top rope, hit a big stomp on him, then went back to the top rope, hit the Swerve stomp. 1, 2. Kenny kicks out. Kenny makes a big comeback, of course, with some knee strikes. Strickland would hit a vertebraker for another 2 count. Kenny hit another feed trigger, then won it with the one winged angel, fair square, no shenanigans. Kenny wins. Now he is not only the EVP, he is the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. Hang with me, folks. I ain't got too many visuals with this. I couldn't find a couple of them. We had a mixed trios match with the Death Riders versus Top Flight and Zeta Steel. In this match, they did give a lot to Top Flight, but in reality, they were actually once contenders at one time. They were trying to push Top Flight at one time, but now they kind of, I guess, drifted off to Collision Hell. But Garcia would have locked the Dragon Slayer on Darius Martin. Moxley followed up with a stomp. Garcia covered him for the win. So Death Rise win this one. Will Ospreay, previous to this match, had I guess a pre-recorded interview saying, he wants John Moxley at Dynasty coming up. I think he's going to have a match with Pac first. But John Moxley got on the mic and said, hey, if you want me, you got me. So it will be John Moxley and Will Ospreay at the Dynasty pay-per-view coming up. After that, we had Speedball Bailey versus Rocky Romero. Very quick match. Speedball wins with the Ultima Weapon. See, that's what I don't get sometimes. It's like that match, it could have been a little more competitive. Would make sense, but then, never mind. Never mind. Anyway. And coming out to grace us with his presence is the AEW World Champion, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. He does his usual stuff. I will say the line about He's the man that hanged the hangman. That was pretty good. That was decent. Kenny comes in. Kenny said, "Hey, if you're considering yourself the devil, you know some people do call me the god of wrestling. I'm not down with that, but hey, if you're the devil, then a god am I." Was that over the top? I don't know. Oh, anyway, um, not a Batman Forever. Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Not a great Batman movie, but still better than Batman and Robin. And I'd almost say it's better than the new Batman. The new Batman was at best. But I digress. So yes, uh, this sets up for their match for Dynasty. It will be Kenny Omega versus MJF for the AEW World Championship come Dynasty. I used to be a TV show in the 80s too. Didn't like that one. It's soap opera. I was a kid. Anyway, tag team matchup next. We had Orange Cassidy and Roger Strong versus the Dogs or the Dogs. David Finlay and Clark Connors. Very good match here. I really dug it. Dogs win with what used to be called a it's what they called it. They call it the full clip. Used to be called the rocker dropper. It's basically one person had him in the suplex. Um, Connors came through like a spear from the top rope. Uh, Marty Jannetty would come out with a crossbody block. They were the first ones that the Midnight Rockers did it. Pirates of Pain did a move like this too back in the day. Yes, I know I watched way too much wrestling in my youth and sometimes now. Anyway, so yes, it was the Dogs win this one. Good match. Hopefully they can elevate these two. The second time I've seen them, I'm getting kind of impressed. Um, they give what's his name, Clark Connors, a hard time. First time I seen him, I was like, gosh, this guy looks straight from the trailer park. But as a team, they're pretty good. Not sure if I would like to see a tag match with Gabe Kidd and Finley, see how well they do. I think they will be a little more over. Have or Clark Connors be like a mouthpiece, almost like a Freebirds type deal. They can win the tag team titles and do the Freebird rule. Come on, people. Gotta hire me for creative. Just kidding. All right, next up we had a match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Mina Shirakawa challenging the champion, of course, Tekla. Tekla will win this by using probably the biggest pair of brass knuckles I've ever seen anybody use. I mean, usually you see them taped, it's something like taped up or whatever. They call it brass knuckles, but man, these things are, I mean, at least she had, I mean, I'm not going to measure hands or anything, but at least she has, unless she has like very, very small hands. They, in other words, I'm not sure how the referee missed it, but totally missed it. She did use the pair of brass knuckles to knock out Mina and get the win. And for your main event tonight, in a falls count anywhere, no DQ match, or I don't think it's falls count anywhere. It's like no DQ match. Basically, uh, basic street fight, hardcore match, whatever you want to call it. This was it. Not sure why they had this between these two. I mean, even if uh, MJF paid off Don Callis to help take care of Darby Allin, they could have still done this like a regular match and have the anyway. Like I said, it is what it is. Um, Rush or it's Darby Allin versus Roosh. Roosh missed the bull's horn in the corner. Allin catched Roosh's legs for the Scorpion Deadlock, but he rolled it into I think it was called the Gibson leg lock. Ricky and Robert Gibson used this move, um, but did that, cradled him up, got the 3 count. As Allen was separated, he would get attacked by Mark Davis, as well as Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero, and Lance Archer. Uh, Andrade, he's not so cool with Don Callis doing business with MJF, so they kind of sat in the corner, argued. Um, Now, in saying this, now I do this. I'm hoping to try to be a little entertaining and just have something for everybody to kind of relax to, have fun with. Talk about wrestling. But I just can't help it. I'm not one of these virtue uh, signalers or anything like that. It's kind of disturbing, really disturbing. Uh, this the racism coming out of the St. Paul, Minnesota crowd. I mean, the racist stereotyping, profiling, wherever you want to call it, and thinking that Rouge, a Mexican wrestler from from Mexico, uh, did not have didn't go through the proper channels, or is I'm not sure if he's a citizen here or not, but at least I'm pretty sure I, I believe he had the proper paperwork and went through the proper channels to be able to work in the United States legally. But like I said, the racism from the Minnesota crowd when they said F ice, thinking that what, because he's Mexican, you don't think he had the proper paperwork done and all that to be here legally in one way or the other. I mean that's pretty sad. Last time I was at an AEW show, they ran a thing. I'm not reading it. I'm not saying it word for word, but it kind of says respect people of other uh, races, genders, and all that stuff. But then the crowd kind of just with their racist profiling and stereotyping this Mexican wrestler, is pretty disturbing. I hope Tony Khan addresses this soon and says, this kind of race, especially, coming from the fans, okay? This puts a blackout on all wrestling fans. They're there to cheer and boo their favorite wrestlers or they cheer the favorite wrestlers, boo the wrestlers they hate until they turn babyface and they'll cheer them, eventually. Anyway, just play along, have a good time. Then here's this crowd saying F ice, thinking this Mexican wrestler did not go through proper channels. Uh, very sad indeed. Do better, folks. Just do better. Anyway, that concludes this week's AEW Dynamite recap. Uh, Now am recording this, so I'm not ending the show live stream. So, uh, with that being said, those of you just gonna be watching this AEW Dynamite recap, hope you folks have a good one. Take it easy, and until next time. Okay, folks. Yes, I'm still here, so don't cut me off just yet. uh, Spot show is still going on. I think. I hope. As far as I know, I am. Let me check something right quick. Yes, it says I'm still alive, so I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I think I'm alive. It's in, I don't know. I think it could be the hotel internet too. So if you're uh, doing kind of typing in the chat, hopefully I'll get them soon. 'Cause I don't see nothing yet. No, nothing yet. Alrighty. Keeping with the AEW for a little bit. Ronda Rowdy. Well, tell you what, folks. Let's take a quick commercial break. Then we'll get on with everything else. If I can find it. There we go. Be back after these messages. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. If you made it this far in the video and you're having fun, you folks know what to do. Everybody says this, so let's go through the whole routine. If you enjoy it, click on that like button. Also, leave me a comment. Give me your opinions on anything I talk about tonight. Ask questions, or just drop a friendly hello. That's always cool as well. Also, if you enjoy listening to a fan, just like you folks at home, talk about the sport of professional wrestling, be a champ, click on that subscribe button. Now, back to our program. All right, folks, we're back, and let's talk about Ronda Rousey a little bit. So she had a YouTube vlog out, opened up by her close bond with Shafir, reflecting on her shared journey from judo to MMA, and eventually into professional wrestling. This is what she said about Marina. Marina is my best friend in the whole wide world, and we grew up doing judo together as little kids. We both quit judo and started doing MMA. Then we both quit MMA and started doing professional wrestling. Rousey said. She absolutely is crushing it, and I'm proud of her. I'm so happy that everybody's finally starting to take notice and how incredible special she is. Yes, I will say Marina Shafir is greatly improving in the ring. She does a pretty good job selling. Somebody in her background should be kicking more ass than she does, but I digress about that. So, speaking about the AEW appearance, she said, they went to great lengths to keep her involvement under wraps. Uh, I was brought into the arena in a very unique way. I thought this was going to be a bit much more chill, like whatever kind of day, but they're acting as this freaking Royal Rumble, super secret, whatever. Uh, but they had me jump into a wheelchair, throw a tarp over me, wheel me in the arena. Then, of course, she was asked about, she started discussing the overall atmosphere. Rousey compares AEW's presentation to WWE, noting that more relaxed environment while still feeling familiar to her. She also admitted that her appearance carried a bit of rebellious intent toward the TKO group, the parent company of both WWE and UFC. And this is what she said. I mean, it's a little bit weird, but also familiar. But also, it's like AEW, so it's nice. It's a little bit more laid back. After she said they threw her in a wheelchair, put a tarp over, and wheeled her in. But anyway, but actually, this is my first, I think, full on AEW show because I only did Ring of Honor before. Uh, like I think I've been at the shows, but never really performing them. And Ring of Honor was kind of like a pre-tape that was a smaller crowd. So I've never been to an AEW pay-per-view, so I didn't really know what to expect so much. But I'm thinking a less restrictive, more adult version of WWE, which sounds like a good time. Those are all very good descriptions. I felt so, yeah, and it's kind of a cool little bit. It's kind of like a bit of a fuck you to the TKO group, or words, not mine, which is kind of funny because WWE is on NXT, or excuse me, WWE is on Netflix. But I kind of figured it'd be easier to ask for forgiveness instead of permission on this one. Like I'm promoting your show, it's fine. We didn't advertise it. It's not like we boosted the ratings of it, so it should be fine. Um, Rousey's relationship with WWE has been strained since her departure in 2023, with the former champion publicly voicing frustrations about her time with the company and its leadership. Looking ahead, Rousey's set to return to MMA competition for the first time in nearly a decade when she faces Gina Carano on May 16th in a fight scheduled to stream on live stream. While her AEW appearance generated buzz, there is currently no indications that it will lead to a long-term run in the promotions. And from what I hear, it's kind of a one-off. So she made an appearance, probably got paid a little chunk, nice big envelope full of money, and that's it. Um, got a little buzz for AEW. I think they had pretty good ratings for last week's Dynamite, so it could help with that, along with the return of Will Ospreay and Edge, or excuse me, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. But any kind of long-term plans, and fans kind of, even the AEW fans were kind of like, booed her out of the building too. So they wasn't too thrilled. They don't care for Ronda Rousey that much. So now, like I said before, I don't know how on the up and up this MMA fight with Gina Carano is going to be. Either way, I hope Gina Carano wins. I dig Gina Carano. She's cool. She was in the movie Deadpool and Mandalorian. Uh, well, yeah, first two seasons of that. And those first two seasons of Mandalorian was pretty good. The first Deadpool movie was good. So, all right. And some legal news this week. Well, it finally happened. They finally closed the case on Ted DiBiase Jr., the former WWE Tag Team Champion and son of WWE Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase was found not guilty of 13 counts tied to embezzlement, conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering. The verdict came on Friday, bringing into a lengthy legal battle connected to a Mississippi welfare fraud investigation involving alleged misuse of state funds. DiBiase had been facing possibly more than 160 years in federal prison. That's not fun. Federal, from what I from what I hear from another YouTuber, his channel is called Texas Prison Stories. Federal prison's not fun. Not fun at all. Now I don't know if him being a celebrity might get him protective custody, which protective custody from what again from heard from another YouTuber, uh, and protective custody is where you kind of hang out with the dirty cops and the snitches and the children abusers. Let's just say that. So, uh, why are you protecting those fuckers? Put those in gym pop. But like I said, never been in prison. Couldn't tell you. But but anyway, a day after the verdict, he shared a video on social media along with the following caption: "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it's mine to avenge, I'll repay, says the Lord." Romans 12:19. All glory to God. I want to thank Scott Gilbert, Cindy Lapton Morris, and Eric Hirschman for believing the truth and fighting for justice. So yeah, um, now unfortunately, I think his brother Brett DiBiase he pleaded guilty. So think he's there for, I don't want to say 30 years. It wasn't no hundreds. I think it was like 5 years. I should have looked it up. But but I, him, I think another kind of ringleader, the in between guy, I guess, uh, or the contact guy. he got he pleaded guilty, got a few years, and I think a couple ladies also pleaded guilty and got a few years plea deal, few years. But um, now the speculation is, who was that Randy Orton was talking to? Was it Ted DiBiase? Which uh, don't look like Junior's ready to be an in-ring guy right now. Maybe a mouthpiece, which I do remember Ted DiBiase Jr. Wrestling. Him and Cody Rhodes were, tag team part. That's where he won the tag team titles with. They were in a legacy faction with Randy Orton. Um, but I thought he was pretty good. Don't know what happened. He just didn't care for it no more, or and just got called to do more important things. Work with the church and all that good stuff. He's been proven. A jury of his peers said he was not guilty, so that's the verdict. We can think what we want to, but in the law, he was proven innocent. So all I gotta say, if he did something and got away with it, he needs to be like Ray Lewis and uh, keep his nose clean. If he might follow the NFL Ray Lewis story, uh, he wasn't an angel. He got accused of doing some very bad things, but got out of it. And after that, he pretty much kept his nose clean, changed his life around. So hopefully, Ted DiBiase Jr. does the same thing. What's up, Joe King? Just listening. Yeah, I was just making sure because I know the internet's kind of slow in this hotel. But like I said, it's last night here. Last night here. All right. One last news bit of the week. And it is talking about the WWE Hall of Fame. There we go, folks. Dennis Rodman. He is the latest to be inducted in the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. Rodman's ties to professional wrestling goes back to the height of the Monday Night Wars. In 1997, he joined up with Hulk Hogan and the New World Order in WCW. Stepped in the ring for the first time at Bash of the Beach 97, teaming up with Hogan, losing to Lex Luger and the Giant. 1 year later, at the same event, Rodman returned to a high-profile celebrity tag match, once again featuring Hogan to defeat Karl Malone and Diamond Dallas Page, in a bout that drew widespread mainstream attention. Yes, watched the Last Dance with Michael Jordan on Netflix. They kind of hit on this. He skipped practice one day to go do some press and stuff like that for pay per view, or I think he went to Nitro uh, instead of practicing that evening. And then, he showed up for the game and did Dennis Rodman stuff. So he also played a key role in Road Wild '97, appearing as the imposter Sting and attacking Lex Luger with a baseball bat to help Hogan capture the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Roman continued his run in WCW into 1999, where he entered a feud with Randy Savage that led to a match at Road Wild, so he came up short on that occasion. Roman made a surprise return to wrestling spotlight in September 2023, appearing on AEW Collision, where he aligned with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn in a lead up to All Out. Of course, outside of wrestling, Roman was a professional basketball player, 5-time NBA champion, 2 of those with the Detroit Pistons, last 3, of course, with the Chicago Bulls. Yes. So Dennis Rodman went from being with the Detroit Pistons and helping beat up uh, him and was it Bill Lambier beat up Michael Jordan for at least a couple of years until Jordan kind of beefed up a little bit and finally got some help and defeating those Detroit bad boys of Detroit Pistons. Um, they went signed with the Bulls. Probably one of the best defensive players uh, in the NBA at that time, probably ever. Uh, the guy had like no fear of anybody. uh, if he had to mix up with, didn't matter who, he would mix it up. Um, Known for his unmatched rebounding ability, he remains one of the most unique and celebrated figures in NBA history, and was inducted into the Nashman Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2011. But yeah, he kind of became. He went to. Trying to think. I don't know if did he go anywhere between Detroit and San Antonio, because I know he started getting like a lot of press, a lot of attention to himself when he went to San Antonio Spurs, because that's when he really started doing the hair dye thing and uh, the piercings, the tattoos, banging Madonna. uh, oh gosh. So quick story. Uh, there was a Damon Wayans was doing a stand up, and of course everybody knows about Magic Johnson. He had to retire from NBA because he uh, contracted the AIDS virus. Uh, Trying to think, was it just AIDS or just HIV? Either way, he's still alive now. But anyway, so he retired and came back for a short bit, and Damon Wayans was making kind of jokes, and he's talking about other players that Magic face. They kind of just let him do his kind of just move out of his way, let him do his thing, and when the coach says something, he kind of made an impression. It was like, Coach, that's Magic. What am I supposed to do? Uh, but Damon Wayans also said, well, the only person that would guard him was uh, Dennis Rodman. So he's sitting there, acting like he's Dennis Rodman, and said, hey, I don't care. I bang Madonna. I ain't no telling what I got. uh, so that was Damon Wayans is very at that time very. Wish I could find that stand up. That was actually a pretty good one. Back when comedians could be comedians, made fun of everybody, everybody. But yeah, he went from San Antonio to then Chicago, uh, and when Jordan came back, they won 3 more. Then after that, Jordan retired. I think where did Scottie Pippen, I think, went to Phoenix or something. It don't matter uh gosh, that probably could be still winning championships today. Now today's basketball, he would eat LeBron James. Dennis Rodman, if he could do the same things in the '90s, if he could if Rodman was in his prime and could do the same thing in the '90s that they can't do now, especially with LeBron James, Rodman would eat LeBron alive. There's no doubt, no doubt in my mind. Along with along with a few other people, hell, he probably you know his focus, his part of the team was a defensive guy, um, and kind of I don't want to say goon. I guess if it was hockey, it'd be kind of a goon, but not really. Not as goon as you can be in basketball. But but a guy who just all right, you know, he'll guard whoever. He'll be rough. He'll be physical and stuff like that. But he didn't have no fear. Like I said, I do recommend ESPN. I don't know. It might be on. You probably find it on YouTube. They did um a 30 for 30 or some kind of documentary on the Detroit Pistons. Very good, very well done. But yeah, his main thing was being being on defense. But if he was playing today, he probably scored like 25, 30 points a night and play solid defense. Heck, he probably he'd do triple doubles every night or whatever they're called. Not a basketball guy, but I do what I do know. I can say that Dennis Rodman would be like definitely a handful today. But but yeah, that's about all the news I got today. I think. Oh, sorry, got talking about got some more inductees. Now these are kind of upsetting. They did announce that Sid Vicious will be. One minute, did I? Yep. Yes, Sid Vicious. He is going to be inducted into the legacy section of the Hall of Fame. Of course, Sid Vicious. First time I saw him, he was. Uh, I think it was. Trying to think. I think. No, I think first time I did see him was Sid Vicious in Dallas. Then they put a hockey mask on called Lord Humongous in Memphis and in Continental. Yeah, he was Sid Vicious, then Continental, Lord Humongous. That's when I was like, oh, wait a minute. That dude looks familiar. Then, of course, went to WCW, formed the Skyscrapers. Um, One thing I will say about Sid Vicious, I wish he kind of just kept with it. He could have been a huge, even bigger star. I mean, he wouldn't just be stuck in the legacy section of the Hall of Fame if he just stuck with it. Um, he did have a few injuries here and there, but sometimes you just, okay, I made some money, I got some money in the bank, bye. Or the big rumor was, go play softball. Um, but uh, and see, this is what I hate. Let's go ahead and talk about the last one. So he's being inducted, and Bad News Brown, both are being inducted, but in the legacy section, which means they'll announce their name, show the picture, and that's it. No family members or anybody coming out to go tell some Sid Vicious or fellow wrestler tell some Sid Vicious or Bad News Brown stories. It's just there they are. If their family or anything's out in the crowd, they might show them. But and see, this is what kind of irks me about this. Is like I think the part where I do get it. This is a show basically, another show that they uh, sell tickets to, put into some kind of building, and show on TV to get ratings and money, and it's a payday for the wrestlers themselves. But what's the point of having this legacy section when you don't have a? It'd be different if you had like a. I probably wouldn't feel such a way about it if they actually had a actual Hall of Fame building, like tours and come visit, or you know, wrestling fans from all over the world come visit, walk through, and see the plaque, see um the wardrobes, I guess, the gear, and uh watch some footage or something like that. It'll be different if they had that instead it just being a TV show. Because you got your celebrity, which that's where Dennis Rodman's going in celebrity wing. Even though there's no building, um, but I feel Sid Vicious, even though he has passed away, s- still I think he left a big enough mark that kind of like what they did with